Hoagie, and on today's episode of Agronomy Focus, I'm with our white mold expert, Andrew Kappes.
So as Shanna said, I am Andrew Kappes, and today we'll be going over a couple topics on how to plan to prevent white mold, and if not prevent it, at least to mitigate it to the best of your abilities.
So Andrew, since you're in the heart of white mold country, what steps do you take with your growers?
First things first is planting a very, very good soybean that has some resistance to white mold, but it also has a good chemical trait package on top of it, so you can take care of the weeds.
Now that you have your seed varieties picked out, what's your next step?
That would be figuring out what planting population you want to use in the field. So when you have your higher yielding zones, they tend to get a lot more bushy and there's a lot more canopy, so the air can't get through there. So what we tend to do is that we back our seed planting populations down to even 140 or less, so you can open up the rows so the air can get through there better. And before we go to the field, we want to make sure that we pick out a seed treatment that we can put on there that is specifically designed to help with the white mold too. A couple of them that we use would be Heads Up, as you can see behind us, Cover 2 VPH, and the white mold protection system. We've used those widespread up here, even where the white mold is less than what it is in the heart of it. And with a couple of these treatments, we've actually seen in an area that has zero infection, you can still get a return on these seed treatments without any infection to be prevented. So it's a win-win all around.
So Andrew, once we're in season, what measures can we take to mitigate white mold?
So it all comes down to scouting at this point in time. Once you realize that you have white mold, it's already too late. You can't cure it once you already have it. You have to be on the ball in front of it, trying to prevent it from ever happening. Usually the dewy, cold mornings are when this just thrives. It goes crazy. So what I like to do is I like to go out and scout, and usually you can find something that's called bird's nest fungi. And what that does is that thrives in the same conditions that white mold thrives in. So when you see that, you can somewhat assume that you will be having white mold sometime soon. And you know, it always has to come, white mold infects through the flowers on the plant. So R1, R2, R3, that's when you really got to worry about it. So once you start seeing favorable conditions and you also start seeing other things that thrive in them conditions, it's really time to get the sprayers out there and start spraying a fungicide. One of the fungicides I like to use up here is Endura. It really helps basically mitigate the effects. One thing to remember though with these fungicides though is we are not capturing extra bushels. This is what you're doing to apply to your plants to prevent loss. We are not maximizing yield by using those. We are taking our top end parts of the field and we're trying to prevent them being down to nothing from being completely wiped out.